Hi everyone, my name is Joe Sergi, and this is the third module of my self-help kit on the happy life. This is the audiovisual component of module 3. So for a more detail, you could read the script version of this module from Michael's website. The title of this module is Bottom Up Spillover. Let me repeat. Bottom up spillover. So what is bottom up spillover? Bottom up spillover is the spillover of feelings from subordinate life domains to superordinate ones. Specifically, feelings experienced from within a specific life domain, such as family life, to life domains at large, overall satisfaction with family life, to overall satisfaction with life at large. So the idea is that these feelings within a given life domain, um, within the overall hierarchy of life experiences, spill vertically up from bottom to top. Okay. Let me give you an example. Let's focus on, for example, financial life. Yeah, that would be a good one. Um, so we're talking about personal finances. The spillover of feelings from, let's say, within financial life or within the financial domain. These feelings are related to things like personal income, standard of living, material possessions. And these feelings, they can spill over to influence how people feel about life at large, happiness at large. So we could conceptualize this as a hierarchy. So the basic premise is that overall life satisfaction is functionally related to satisfaction with all domains and subdomains. Life satisfaction in the most superordinate domain is influenced by feelings, by one's feelings in salient and subordinate life domains. Thus, the greater the satisfaction with the major life domains, such as personal finance, the greater the satisfaction with life in general. Now, satisfaction with a given life domain is determined by satisfaction with one's concerns and life events in that domain. For example, satisfaction with financial life is likely to be determined by satisfaction with the monetary value of one's house, car, furniture, clothing, savings, jewelry, accessories, etc. A person's evaluation of these dimensions of in the financial domain can be viewed as satisfaction or dissatisfaction with life conditions or concerns within the financial domain. So the hierarchy model of life satisfaction argues that satisfaction with overall life is determined by satisfaction with the major life domains, and satisfaction with a given life domain is determined by satisfaction with the life conditions and concerns within that domain. Okay. Well, let's consider a specific example. Let's focus on a person and let's call him Trevor. Okay, let's talk about Trevor. So Trevor, let's say he's moderately satisfied with life. So he's not very happy, but he's not, very down on himself, but he's sort of moderately happy. Okay. But he manages to increase his life satisfaction by a couple of notches. Now, how does he do that? Let's try and be a little bit more specific. So the increase in overall life satisfaction may be due to a bottom-up spillover. This spillover may be coming from two life domains, family and work life. That is, positive feelings travel from life domains of family and work, and they spill over to the most superordinate domain of overall life. Doing so enhances Trevor's subjective well being, moving from moderate to high satisfaction with overall life. Now, Trevor's feelings, he has also some negative feelings, but the idea is that he is shutting off the gates, so to speak. So, in other words, he is preventing certain negative feelings from certain events in his life from influencing his overall life satisfaction. Let's try and be a little bit more specific. So let's say, let's say, again, focusing on his family life. Let's say he experienced two life events. His daughter's graduating from college. That's a positive event, right? And his son's wife is expecting a baby. Okay, that's great. That's another positive event in his family life. So he experienced two major family events that are very positive. Okay. Both sets of family events have generated positive feelings that influenced his assessment, his judgment about his life overall. He's a happy person. He's feeling very satisfied with his life. But wait a minute, there's another thing that's happening, and that is what's happening in his work life. Now, there are a couple of events that happen in his work life that also influenced his overall life satisfaction. But he's trying to manage those feelings. Let's try and again be a little bit more specific. One event was that he received a raise, a significant raise. So this was definitely a positive event. But another event is the fact that he did not get the promotion that he was vying for, that he aspired to. So what is happening there? Um, he is allowing the positive feelings from the raise that he received to spill over to influence his overall assessment of his life, a little bit more rosy, a little bit more positive. But he is, by the same token, he is disallowing, he is preventing those negative feelings that he may have felt about not receiving, not getting that promotion to influence his overall life. Um, so the idea is that one may have control over what spills over into one's evaluation of one's overall life domain, which in turn influences, one's overall evaluation of one's life at large. That is the sort of the basic principle. So we can translate much of that into a basic principle, which we call it the bottom-up spillover principle. And it posits, it says that subjective well-being can be increased by allowing positive life domains to spill over positive feelings onto the most superordinate domain, which is overall life. And positive feelings accumulates across life domains as a direct function of the satisfaction of human developmental needs. What are human development needs? Needs related to uh, safety, biological needs, uh, needs related to shelter, needs related to our social being, meaning social needs. Um, we're talking about self-esteem needs, self-actualization needs. We're talking about things like knowledge needs, um, create, aesthetics and creative kinds of needs. So the bottom up spillover principle implies that one has control over how one feels about life at large. This means that you can influence your own subjective well-being by choosing which life domain to draw from and which to shut off. The basic premise is to draw from life domains that contain positive feelings and not those that contain negative feelings. Going back to Trevor, he feels moderately satisfied with his life. Okay. He managed to increase his overall life satisfaction by allowing positive feelings from family life, his daughter's graduating from college, and his son's wife expecting a baby, as well as the raise he received at work to spill over. By the same token, he was able to disallow the negative feelings about not getting that promotion he aspired at work to spill over to influence his overall life satisfaction. Yes, bottom up spillover can be done, can be managed to increase overall life satisfaction. And that's the principle of bottom up spillover. It's a strategy that people use in order to enhance their happiness. Okay, I'll stop there. Bye now.